toys. Welcome back to my channel, and if you've never been here before, subscribe. That's all. I got nothing. Which is exactly what you'll get if you subscribe. Today I was feeling a bit inspired by someone who I recently covered, and by recently I mean in my last video, Classically Abby. Classically Abby has made her foray into segmenthood with what she likes to call. So I was inspired to start my own segment called
The Dump.
Now, the dump will be a sort of roundup of smaller stories that I don't think necessarily warrant a larger video, or that I don't necessarily have an interest in making a larger video about, but would rather make a smaller, more concise point about. And the dump is also what happens after a Taco Bell bender. But I digress. First on the docket, Jake Paul knocked out Nate Robinson in like 2 rounds or something. I didn't really research it. To celebrate his victory, of course, he threw a huge super spreader event during a global pandemic, because of course he did. Jake Paul voted for Trump and thinks coronavirus is a hoax. So awesome. So this party was 100+ attendees, including local genius and walking chlamydia poster child Tana. And I want to thank them both for their very selfless contribution to society. Vapid, self-obsessed ass. Next, Jeffree Star was the dishonorable guest of honor on Ryland Adams' podcast, and it was a lot. First of all, I just want to point out, and I haven't watched any videos on this. I know there have been a lot made, and they were made like instantly. Ow. Did anybody else like take issue, aside from all the bigger issues, like did anyone else take issue with the fact that like they barely let Ryland's co-host speak? Like she was interrupted, or like interrupted before she even started saying what she was saying, and she was like geeking out on the fact that Jeffree Star was there. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't like Jeffree Star, but like she was excited that he was there. She was like a hardcore Jeffree Star like super fan. Yes, those still somehow do exist. Anyway, if you missed it, or you were just avoiding it and hoping to catch it on some commentary channel, I got you covered. I'm gonna break it down for you as concisely as I can. There was a ghost in Jeffree Star's garage. Jafar loves sucking dick. Like a lot, and like a lot. Like a lot. Jeffree and Ryland had this big long conversation about how much Jeffree basically spends to maintain his home and lifestyle in a month, and it came to like 100,000 roughly. And of course it was only the most important things, like his electricity bill, which he said was around $12,000 a month, the heating bill, which he said was around $4,000 a month, you know, wigs, facials, massages, literal nanny for his Pomeranians, you know, all the important stuff. Jeffree Star loves sucking dick. He's not gonna let you forget. Jeffree Star is writing a memoir that's coming out next year. It's probably got a few stories about sucking dick in it. If you were to play the sickening or stunning drinking game during that interview and drink an alcohol every time Jeffree Star said one of those things, you would be dead about 20 minutes in. Aside from all of the sucking dick, apparently we were supposed to feel really badly for these millionaires who made a fuck ton of money on the product they sold while they received backlash for their choices. I don't know. In my opinion, they didn't go too in depth with the whole like, oh, it was really hard being canceled thing. They touched on it briefly, but honestly, I don't feel like they should have, because all of it was warranted. Next, Gabi DeMartino did a thing. She used her OnlyFans to share a video of herself at 3 years old that she should not have shared with the public, particularly on OnlyFans. The caption below it was sexually suggestive and you had to pay $3 to unlock this photo. It's gross, it's disgusting, and she needs to be deplatformed. That's my opinion.
Ew, bitch, you're gross.
Next. So some kid who doesn't understand how jokes work or how commentary works decided to make a video called "The Problem with Deaf Noodles." Deaf Noodles himself brought this video to people's attention, the caption reading something to the effect of, this person is like in love with me or something like that. In true dickhead fashion, a bunch of dickheads that also exist on the internet on this very platform have been giving him absolute hell because he said words in a tone they didn't care for. Honestly, like, all of their bitching comes off as jealousy. And I'm not one of those people who are like,
if people hate on you, it's because they're jealous.
No. Sometimes people hate on you because you're a piece of shit. But I think in this case, it genuinely comes off as jealousy. One of their lines of defense was like, oh, of course a woman would defend you, when females on Twitter deigned to say something in his defense. Phrases like that tell me that they're jealous. And somebody criticized me on Twitter for calling them dorks. And I'm sorry, but that's like the most accurate descriptor for what these people are. They're fucking dorks. They're just jealous that Dennis has a line of simps longer than, I don't know, something that's really long. Calling him a crybaby who can't take criticism couldn't be more off base. On several occasions, I have seen Dennis say, if there's anything else that you think I can do to improve my channel, if there's anything else that you think I can do, let me know. Just because you're too stupid to get the joke doesn't mean the joke isn't funny. These bros feel like they have the right to dictate what is satire and what is a joke and what is not. Because people like Dennis and like myself have, I don't know, studied comedy, studied improv, and know what fucking satire is. Most people with brains know what fucking satire is and how to recognize it. Clearly, folks like us are in the wrong. Who would know better than a bunch of bros who sit down and stream video games like it's a fucking talent? And I'm not a Deaf Noodles stan. If I felt in my heart of hearts that they were correct and that Dennis wasn't taking criticism the way that he should, I would absolutely call him out for it. But they are 100% wrong. I think everybody in the situation that isn't Dennis is missing the jokes. Them pulling apart the technicality of like, how do we know when it's a joke and when it's not? He literally denotes every time it's gonna be something more serious. I don't understand why you can't accept the content for what it is. They're asking for an over clarification that absolutely isn't necessary. And I think that at this point, it's clear that they just have a problem with Dennis. And that's fine. Don't piss and moan about how he can't take criticism, and then the moment he blocks you because he's tired of listening to your shit, you hop onto his other handles or you complain on your own timeline with screenshots of him blocking you about how he blocked you. If you can't handle the fact that somebody blocks you because they don't want to listen to your bullshit any further because the conversation is going nowhere, or you're simply not hearing what they have to say, or you're being a fucking asshole, then I'm sorry, but who's the one that can't take criticism? Who's the one who can't accept the thing that's happening? We all have opinions, right? And some of us are just wrong. And by us, I mean you. And by you, I mean only you. Only You is a terrific Bonnie Hunt movie. Those dickheads are wrong. And now just a couple rapid fire cold tea moments. Trisha Paytas ate cheese pizza dressed like Davi Vanity for some reason. That's haunting. Tana Mongeau fired her manager Jordan. So hopefully his spine will have regrown fully in about 6 months, which is around the time we can expect Tana's next apology for her previous apology, which she's absolutely working on right now. And a lot of people started Vlogmas. So anyway, that's all I have for this video today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like. If you didn't like it, I don't give a shit. Give it a dislike. It's still engagement. I put up lights. Subscribe if you haven't already. I make videos whenever the hell I feel like it. Okay, that's all.